Obias checking in here. So I watched Insidious The Red Door, and it's gonna really depend on your tolerance level for horror flicks if this joint will spook you out or not. The film relies on jump out scares and the ominous darkness of the Further to startle you, and if you're a horror movie connoisseur like me, then you're probably already desensitized to all that, but it was still entertaining. Insidious films introduced the paranormal concept of astral projection, a mental state that the members of the Lambert fam could enter as they slept. A person with astral projection abilities can uncontrollably or learn to harness the ability to have their spirit, aka astral body, leave their physical body during their slumber and enter into a supernatural realm known as the Further. Elise, the paranormal expert, described the Further as a world far beyond our own but all around us, yet we can't see it. It's a place without time and not for the living. It's a shadowy dimension between heaven and hell where tortured souls and sinister supernatural entities reside. The way it was described kind of reminded me of both limbo and purgatory. In Catholic and Christian theology, both purgatory and limbo are border realms in between heaven and hell. Similar to the Further, all souls pass through limbo on their way to heaven or hell, but the souls of people that died without being baptized are forced to remain there because they never accepted Jesus into their lives. As a result, their eternal punishment is to be deprived of being with God. Purgatory is a Roman Catholic and Christian belief that imperfect souls who die in a state of grace with the Lord are sent to purgatory as a temporary punishment or purification process by fire before entering heaven. In the film, the Further realm mirrors the world of the living, so all homes, structures, and landscapes appear in the same locations except engulfed by mist and darkness. Time doesn't exist in the Further as well, so past memories and timelines can be explored, but while exploring the Further, your lifeless body is vulnerable to possession by the miserable souls and sinister spirits that inhabit the dark netherworld, that are awoken by a living person's presence. Similar to hell, the Further has a ruler that looks slightly similar to Satan, known as the red-faced demon, who has control over the dark realm. Dalton referred to the creepy, frail ruler as the man with fire in his face. Despite its scrawny appearance, the red-faced demon was a powerful entity, able to possess people, control other spirits, and had powerful physical and telekinetic powers. And so far, it has no weaknesses that we've seen. So instead of putting up a fight, they just try to outrun it. The main spirits introduced that reside within the Further so far are the Dahl family, who were murdered violently at the hand of one of the fam's twin daughters before she smoked herself. Then the red-faced demon forced the mannequin-like fam to relive their deaths over and over for eternity within the Further. Their smiles indicate that they've learned to enjoy their twisted fate. The long-haired fiend is the spirit of a violent man who may have been a murderer when he walked the earth. The little boy is actually the spirit of an old man suffering from dwarfism. And even though he ain't a child, he still acts like a young prankster. The bride in black is actually the spirit of a self-castrated man that suffered an abusive childhood at the hands of his mom. Another spirit within the Further, known as the woman in white, who influenced her son while they were living to become a cross-dressing serial killer. The bride in black has been trying to steal Josh's body since he was a child. The crying woman is the spirit of a woman that died under tragic circumstances, so she cries about her unfortunate situation. The wheezing demon, aka the man that can't breathe, is the spirit of a hospital patient that required an oxygen mask to live. He is an evil ghost that tries to convince the living to off themselves by possessing them or shapeshifting into their dead relatives. He is the physical embodiment of cancer and misery, according to producers. Keyface is a hideous skeletal demon that's missing its nose and lips. It has keys on its fingertips that it can use to lock away a person's speech and even lock them within the further to prevent escape. This intimidating spirit feeds off people's pain and suffering. The longer a person's astral body, aka soul, stays in the further, the weaker their link with their body gets, and the easier it is for the sinister spirits to possess them. But the process to completely possess their body could take months. The spirits usually target children because they're easier to manipulate, but they target any life essence that alerts them or they sniff out. Some spirits want a human body to possess because they crave a second chance at life, and other more evil spirits like the red-faced demon wants to possess a person so that he can hurt others and cause mayhem. Only a small lantern slightly illuminates the ominous darkness of the further, and the further you travel into the further, the riskier the journey. This was highlighted in the first film where Dalton fell into a coma after he astral projected while sleeping. He then got lost while exploring the further, believing it was all a dream. He was eventually captured by the red-faced demon who may have convinced him to travel deeper into his domain. In the latest Insidious flick, Dalton subconsciously painted the red door holding back all the demons in the further, even after he and his pops had their memories of the further suppressed through hypnosis. His paintings unlocked his memories, and he eventually painted a demonic image of his pops at the door holding a hammer. The more details Dalton subconsciously added to his painting of the red door, the more the lines of reality and the further became blurred until he was captured within the further again by the red-faced demon. Let me know what y'all thought about Insidious the Red Door in the comments below. I think they should have added a powerful new demon in the mix to turn up the thrill factor up a notch, because it was definitely lacking on the scare. So I'm gonna have to run it 2 mics. If you enjoyed the video, make sure that you like and subscribe. I have movie related content dropping every week, so lock in with me by hitting that like and subscribe button, and I'm gonna get up with y'all in the next video. Alright, holla at me. I came from uptown, way uptown. I came from uptown, way uptown. I came from uptown, way